हरे कृष्ण सर।
हरे कृष्ण सर।
राधे राधे सर।
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण गुरुजी।
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्णा सर।
हरे कृष्ण।
राधे राधे गुरुजी।
हरे तो आप लोगों को स्क्रीन दिखाई पड़ रहा है, इस पे भगवत गीता आपको दिखाई पड़ रहा है?
यस सर।
यस सर।
यस सर।
यस सर।
एक्सक्यूज मी सर।
यस
सर आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
हाँ, आ रही है, आपकी आवाज आ रही है।
पहले तो मैं आपको नमस्ते करना चाहूंगा और आपसे एक प्रश्न पूछना चाहूंगा।
ओके, तो प्रश्न आप नोट करके रखिएगा। प्रश्न हम लोग क्लास के बाद प्रश्न लेंगे।
आखिरी में? आखिरी में सर?
हाँ, क्लास के लास्ट में।
ओ, धन्यवाद सर।
हाँ, आखिरी में।
सर।
धन्यवाद।
सर।
यस।
राधे राधे सर।
हरे कृष्णा।
सर क्लास कब स्टार्ट होएगी?
क्लास अभी हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे। तो आप में से कोई बता सकते हैं कि कल आपने क्या सुना था? कुछ याद है आपको कल की क्लास से? कल आपने क्लास अटेंड की थी, तो कल आपने क्या सुना है? कुछ याद है किसी को?
सर प्रभु जी, your voice is breaking.
कल की एक दो पॉइंट बताइए। हाँ, ओके, आई एम आस्किंग, कैन यू शेयर 1-2 पॉइंट्स फ्रॉम यस्टरडेज क्लास? Can you share some points from yesterday's class?
प्रभु जी मैंने कल ज्वाइन नहीं किया था।
अच्छा, किसी ने भी अगर ज्वाइन किया हो तो कुछ कल की क्लास से आप बताइए, एक पॉइंट बताइए कोई।
सर हमने कल पढ़ा था कि गीता का ज्ञान जो था सबसे पहले सूर्यदेव को मिला था और फिर कृष्ण भगवान ने गीता का ज्ञान देने के लिए अर्जुन को ही चुना क्योंकि वो उनके भक्त और उनके सबसे अच्छे सखा थे।
हाँ, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट है कि भगवान ने अर्जुन को क्यों चुना भगवत गीता सुनाने के लिए? बिकॉज अर्जुन वॉज हिज फ्रेंड and his devotee. And one more point was there that Arjun was not envious of Krishna. वो भगवान से ईर्ष्या नहीं करते थे, इस कारण से भगवान ने अर्जुन को चुना। और उसके बाद कल की क्लास में ये भी बताया गया था कि कितने तरह से भगवान की भक्ति की जा सकती है। 5 ways, there are 5 ways to do bhakti to Krishna. So what are the 5 ways? किसी को पता है? 5 तरीके से हम भगवान के साथ हमारे संबंध हो सकते हैं। We can relate with Lord Krishna in 5 Nalus. So what are those five
पहले तो
Nalus?
मित्र सर, पहले तो मित्र सर,
हाँ।
दूसरा भक्त, सखा रूप में
हाँ।
भक्त, या तो सखा रूप में भक्त, या माता पिता, या फिर
हाँ।
किसी कोई प्रेमी, या फिर अलग अवस्था।
हाँ। हाँ।
ध्यान योग क्षमा।
हाँ, वेरी गुड,
माता
बहुत
पिता
अच्छे।
का संबंध,
So either we
प्रेमिका का संबंध, दास का संबंध,
helping of
सत्ता का संबंध।
people.
yes. So can you give some example of parents when somebody is parent of Krishna? So any example?
Devaki.
Yeah,
यशोदा मैया।
Devaki, Yashoda, Nand Baba, Vasudev, and
Vasu.
friend of Krishna,
Vasudev
Arjun. Arjun.
Arjun, yes,
अर्जुन।
Sudama.
Sudama, yes, very good.
Balram.
Okay, so now we will read ahead.
Sir, your audio is hanging.
Here you see, okay, this is due to some signal problem. Sometimes it will come properly, sometimes it will lag in between. Okay, so can somebody read this first paragraph? Just what is the Bhagavad Gita?
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes, you can read.
Just what is the Bhagavad Gita? The purpose of the Bhagavad Gita is to deliver mankind from the. Prabhuji, ये zoom नहीं हो रहा है.
हाँ?
ये zoom नहीं हो रहा है.
Zoom नहीं हो रहा है? आपको zoom करना है?
Prabhuji, मैं पढ़ूं? Sir, can I read?
हाँ, okay.
Sir, can I read?
Yes.
The purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to deliver mankind from the nations of material existence. Every man has difficulty in so many ways, as Arjun also was in difficulty in having to fight the battle of Kurukshetra. Arjun surrendered unto Sri Krishna, and consequently this Bhagavad Gita was spoken. Not only Arjuna, but everyone of us is full of anxieties because of this material existence. Our very existence in the atmosphere of non-existence. Actually, we are not meant to be threatened by non-existence. Our existence is eternal, but somehow or other we are put into asat. Asat refers to that which does not exist. Out of so
Okay,
things-
stop it. So now here some technical words are there, you see. One word is there, asat. So what is the meaning of asat?
सर, जिसका कोई अस्तित्व ना
something
हो।
सर जो कि असल में होता नहीं है.
हाँ, असत मीन्स नहीं होता है, असत मीन्स टेम्पररी. Asat means temporary. Like this material world is called asat. So this material world is temporary. Sat means which always exists, and asat means which is temporary, or sometimes asat also refers to that which does not exist. So both meanings are correct for asat. Now here it is said that we are put in the atmosphere of non-existence. So what is the meaning of non-existence?
which does not exist.
It does not exist.
Which does not exist.
जो चीज प्रेजेंट नहीं है.
here non-existence means पर यहाँ पे तो हम लोग present है ना. We are put in the atmosphere of non-existence. We are living on this earth. So this earth is existing.
Sir, it is existing, but it's temporary.
Yes. So this is temporary, but we are not temporary. Our body is temporary, but as a soul, we are not temporary. We always
Our-
exist. We continue to exist all the
Our
time.
soul, सर हमारी आत्मा अमर है.
हाँ, यस. तो इसलिए हम लोग की आत्मा अमर है, पर हम लोग इस संसार में आ गए हैं जहाँ पे हर चीज टेम्परेरी है. So that is the cause of our suffering. Because suppose we have taken birth in a family, our parents are there, our relatives are there, but after some time our relatives are separated from us, so we have to suffer because of their separation. So which we don't like to separate from our relatives, and we don't like suffering. So that is the cause of suffering, that we are put in the atmosphere where everything is temporary. Okay. So we have to get permanent happiness. We have to go to the atmosphere where everything is permanent. So this is the first symptom of an intelligent person, that he understands that he is suffering. If you do not understand that you are suffering, then we are in illusion. यहाँ पे सभी लोग के ऊपर कोई ना कोई तरीके से दुख आ रहा है. जैसे अभी आप देखो इजराइल और
हमास
में फिलिस्तीन में हमास में वॉर हो रहा है. कितना वॉर हो रहा है, कितना लोग निर्दोष मारे जा रहे हैं वहां पे. आपने देखे वीडियो ना, कितने सारे लोग मारे जा रहे हैं, कितने बच्चे मारे जा रहे हैं, छोटे छोटे बच्चे.
सर यूक्रेन
रशिया एंड यूक्रेन वॉर.
यस सर.
So although they are innocent, but still they have to suffer because they are living in this material world where everything is temporary. So if we want to get rid of this suffering, अगर हमको इस suffering से मुक्ति पाना है, तो we have to go back to.
We have to read Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, very good. So then we have to read Bhagavad Gita. So you understand that everything is temporary here. So this is the first thing to understand, that in this material world, there is always suffering. Some suffering will always be there. So now, when you know that we are all suffering, then what is the next step? What should be the next question? If you come to know that we are suffering, then what should be the next question?
We should
Or
take
next step?
we should be calm and think. We should be calm first and then we have to find the solution. हमें भगवान का स्मरण करना चाहिए.
Yes. So when we are suffering, then we have to find the solution. That how can we get rid of this suffering?
सर पहले हम लोग को शांत होना होगा, उसके बाद उसका सलूशन निकालना होगा. वैसा.
हाँ, वेरी गुड. पहले हम लोग को शांत होना होगा, फिर हमको उसका सलूशन निकालना होगा कि why are we suffering.
अगर सर हमारे अंदर पेशेंस होगा तभी हम कर सकते हैं.
हाँ, आपके अंदर पेशेंस होगा तभी कर सकते हैं. पेशेंस कैसे आएगा?
By reading Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
By reading
Bhagavad Gita.
Then you will get patience. So तो ये जो प्रॉब्लम्स है, सफरिंग की प्रॉब्लम का सलूशन कहाँ पर है?
भगवद
गीता में सलूशन.
सर भगवद गीता.
ये जितनी भी सफरिंग है, इन सबका सलूशन भगवद
सर भगवद गीता में सारी चीजें के सलूशन लिखे रहते हैं कि इस सिचुएशन में हम क्या कर सकते हैं. वैसा
भगवद गीता में जो मेन आपकी प्रॉब्लम है उसका सलूशन लिखा रहता है. जैसे मेन प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि यहाँ पे हर चीज टेम्पररी है, and because of temporary nature we are all suffering, we are all disturbed, our mind is disturbed. So Bhagavad Gita has a solution how our mind can be peaceful. That solution is there in Bhagavad Gita, that how our mind can be peaceful. If your mind is peaceful, you can do anything, there is no problem. And if your mind is not peaceful, then you cannot do anything, even though it may be very easy thing to do. ना जैसे आपको किसी ने खूब इंसल्ट कर दिया, आप बहुत दुखी हैं, तो क्या आप कोई फेवरेट डिश अपनी खा पाएंगे? आपका माइंड डिस्टर्ब है, गुलाब जामुन है आपके सामने, पर आपका माइंड बहुत डिस्टर्ब है, तो आप क्या खा पाएंगे? नहीं खा पाएंगे, माइंड बहुत डिस्टर्ब है.
दुखी हो जाएंगे तो खाने का मन भी नहीं करेगा.
हाँ yes.
और
तो
सर मीठे का भी
इसलिए
टेस्ट फीका आएगा।
यस, सो भगवत गीता में सोल्यूशन है कि हाउ आवर माइंड कैन बी पीसफुल, हाउ आवर माइंड कैन बी
Yes.
हैप्पी. If you read Bhagavad Gita every day, then your mind will be peaceful and happy. So here, yes,
Sir, out of many human beings who are
How many
suffering,
human
there
beings who
are
are
few who, when man fall,
Sir, these two are reading.
yes, yes,
out,
read it.
out? So can I read?
out of so many human beings who are
Yes,
suffering,
yes.
there
Out
are a
of so
few who are
many human
actually inquiring about their
Little
future.
louder, little louder.
Sir,
Out
I
of
can
What
read.
they are, why they are put into this awkward position, and
few
so on.
who are
Unless
actually
one
inquiring about their position as to what they are, why they are put into this awkward position, and so on. Unless one is awkward to this position of questioning his suffering, unless he realizes that he doesn't want suffering but rather wants to make a solution to all suffering, then one is not to be considered a perfect human being. Humanity begins when the sort of inquiry is
Awaken.
awakened in one's mind. In Brahma Sutra, this inquiry is called Jijnasa.
जिज्ञासा
Jigyasa. Jigyasa.
Brahma Jigyasa. Brahma Jigyasa.
अथा तो ब्रह्म जिज्ञासा अथा तो ब्रह्म जिज्ञासा
Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Every activity of the human being is to be considered a failure unless he inquires about the nature of the absolute. Therefore, those who begin to question why they are suffering or where they came from and where they shall go after death are proper students for understanding Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, so here, what are
Sir,
the
please let
important
everyone
questions which one
read.
should ask?
Only he is reading. सबको पढ़ने का मौका दो सर.
Okay, okay. आप लोग हाथ, you should hand raise, so I'll select who will read. So first, let me discuss this. What are the important questions which intelligent person should ask according to this paragraph? Anyone can, Hardik Sharma can answer. You want to answer? What are the important questions which one should ask?
What is Brahma Jigyasa?
Sir, in what is Brahma Sutra inquiry?
Sir, one should ask that what
Sir,
should.
Brahma Sutra inquiry is called what? Like that.
Sir, one should ask that what should come after death and these thoughts.
Yes, yes,
Sir?
yes. One should ask that why they are suffering, where we have come from, and where we shall go after death. These questions we should ask. That from where we have come, where I was living before, and from where I will go after death,
Your voice
and why am I suffering? So these questions, so these questions should be asked. Okay, so now Karan Manya can read. Karan Manya. Two
Lord
paragraphs he
Krishna,
can read.
being associate of Lord Krishna, Arjuna was above all ignorance, but Arjuna was put into ignorance on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Just got the question Lord Krishna about the problems of life, so that the Lord could explain them for the benefit of future generations of human beings and chalk out the plan of the lives. The man could act accordingly in a perfect mission of human life. The subject of
Okay,
Bhagavad Gita.
so what was the problem of Arjun? What was the
He
problem
was
of
not able
Arjun?
to decide that he should fight, मतलब उसे लड़ना चाहिए कि नहीं कुरुक्षेत्र में, क्योंकि उसके अपने ही उसके विरुद्ध थे भीष्म पितामह और बाकी सब.
हाँ, हाँ उसको because क्योंकि अर्जुन he was very much attached to his relatives and he was thinking कि मैं
He
अपने
was
relatives को
controlled.
कैसे मारूंगा भीष्म पितामह गुरु द्रोणाचार्य. Yes. Okay, read the next paragraph. Continue Karan Manya.
The subject of Bhagavad Gita entails the comparison of 5 basic truths. Supreme. That the supreme. Where it is? Sir?
5 basic truths. Yes.
First of all, the science of God is explained, and then the constitutional position of the living entities. Jivas. There is Iswara, which means the controller. And there are Jivas, the living entities which are controlled. If a living entity says that he is not controlled but that he is free, then he is insane. The living being is controlled in every respect, at least in his conditional life. So,
Okay, what is the meaning of insane?
Pagal, sir.
What is the meaning of insane?
Something like mad, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Mad.
Yes,
Mad.
you do not understand what is right, what is wrong. So here 5 basic truths are explained of Bhagavad Gita, of which 2 are mentioned here. What are the 2 basic truths of Bhagavad Gita which are mentioned till now?
If an entity says that he is not controlled but that he is free, then he is insane.
Yeah, one is Ishwar. Ishwar means Supreme Lord. And another? Another?
Jeev.
Jivas. Jivas means we are the spirit soul. We are also called Jivas. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, continue ahead.
Sir, may I?
Let her finish this paragraph. Finish
The living
this
being is controlled
paragraph.
in every respect, at least in his conditioned life. So in Bhagavad Gita, the subject matter deals in with Isvara, the supreme controller, and the Jivas, the controlled living entities. Prakriti, material nature, and the time, the duration of existence of the whole universe, or the magnification of duration of exercise of the whole universe. Material nature and karma activities are also discussed. The cosmic magnification is full of different activities. All living entities are engaged in different activities. From Bhagavad Gita, we must learn what God is, what the living entities are, what Prakriti is, what is the cosmic manifestation is, how is it controlled by time, and what activities does living entities are. May I read?
Sir, may I read? Sir,
Okay,
may I
so
read?
in this, okay, stop it now. Okay, I will select first. Let us discuss this point. What are the 5 topics of paragraph? What are the 5 main topics of Bhagavad Gita?
Sir, karma.
Karma. Okay.
Jivas.
Jivas.
Jivas. Ishwar.
Prakriti.
Prakriti. Yes, Prakriti. And one more.
Magnification. Isra. Cosmic magnification.
No. First is Ishwar, then Jiva, then Prakriti, and Karma, and one more is remaining.
Magnification.
No.
Kala.
Kal or time. These are the 5 topics of Bhagavad Gita, 5 main topics. Okay, now Avishi Chauhan can read.
Out of these 5 basic subjects matters in Bhagavad Gita, it is established that the Supreme Godhead or Krishna or Brahman or the Supreme Controller or Prahatma, you may use whatever name you like, is the greatest of all. The living beings are in equality like the Supreme Controller. For instance, the Lord has control over the universal affairs of material nature, as will be explained in the later chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Material nature is not independent She is acting under the directions of the Supreme Lord, as Lord Krishna says, Mayadhyak
Mayadhyakshena prakriti shuyate sacharacharam. Yes.
This material nature is working under my directions. When we see wonderful things happening in the cosmic nature, we should know the behind this cosmic manifestation there is the controller. Nothing could be manifested without being controlled. It is
Okay, wait. So when we see that wonderful things are happening, here, like sun is rising, you see beautiful morning sunrise and evening sunset, then what we should understand from this?
कोई भी चीज बिना किसी लॉर्ड के नहीं हो सकती।
जो चीज जागृत होती है वो कभी डूबती भी है, मतलब कि अगर कुछ उगता है तो उससे कभी कभार बंद भी होना होता है।
नथिंग कैन बी मैनिफाइड।
नहीं, अगर आप देखते हैं कि हवा चलती है, कभी गर्मी का सीजन आता है, फिर ठंडी का सीजन आता है, सब कुछ इतना सिस्टमेटिकली चल रहा है, तो इससे हमको क्या इंडिकेशन मिलता है?
हर चीज एक सुप्रीम
बदलती जाता है।
कोई है जो ये सब करता है।
हाँ, yes, very good.
कहते हैं
There is some controller who is controlling all these activities. Okay, read ahead. Nothing could be manifested. Unmute yourself, Avishi, unmute yourself.
nothing could be
Yes.
manifested without being controlled. It is childish not to consider the controller. For in instance, a child may think that an automobile is quite wonderful to be able to run without a horse or other animal pulling it, but same knows the nature of the automobiles. Agni
Engineering.
arrangement. He always know
Knows that.
behind the machinery there is a man, a driver. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the driver under whose direction everything is working. Now the jivas or the living entities have been accepted by the Lord, as we will note in the later chapters, as his parts and parcels. A particle of gold is also gold. A drop of water from the ocean is also salty, and similarly, we the living entities being part and parcel of Supreme Controller Iswara or Bhagwan Lord Shri Krishna have all the qualities of the Supreme Lord is minute quantity, because we are minute Iswaras, subordinate Iswaras. We are trying to control nature, as presently we are trying to control space or planets, and this tendency to control is there because it is in Krishna. But although we have a tendency to lord it over material nature, we should know that we are not the supreme controller. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita.
Okay. So now in this paragraph, the main thing is explained is that what is the difference between the Supreme Lord and living entities? Means what is the difference between Ishwar and Jiva? And what is the similarity? So can anyone say what is the difference and what is the similarity?
Sir,
Yes,
sir, we are not the supreme controller of the world.
Yes, we are not the supreme controller of the world. Then in what way we are similar to the Lord?
We are a drop of Lord. We are just parts and parcels of the Lord. And what like a drop of the ocean is salty, we are like that drop which is also salty, but in less amount.
Yes, in lesser amount. Yes. Like in quality, we are same as the Lord, but in quantity, we are less than the Lord. Yes. So this is the difference. Like Lord is all powerful and we have little bit power. God can control the whole universe and all the planets, and we can control some satellites. Okay. So that much little bit control we have. So therefore we are called minute Ishvara or little Ishvara. And Supreme Lord is called Param Ishvara, Supreme Ishvara.
Sir, Supreme Lord.
Yes.
Sir, we are Jivas.
Yes, we are Jivas. Yes. Okay, now who will read?
Sir,
So,
Sir, I please, sir.
Sir, I can read. Sir, I can read.
who? Arav Chaudhary? Who
Sir,
is
I.
speaking?
Sir Satish.
Who is speaking?
Sir, I Satish.
Sir, I.
Okay, you can raise your hand. I will see.
Sir, I
Just a minute.
Sir Satish.
Okay, Babli Pathak.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can I start?
Yes, you can start.
What is material nature? This is also explained in Gita as inferior prakriti, inferior nature. The living entity is explained as the superior prakriti. Prakriti is always under control, whether inferior or superior. Prakriti is female and she is controlled by the Lord, as the actions of a wife are controlled by the husband. Prakriti is always subordinate by the Lord, who is the predominator. The living entities and material nature are both predominated, controlled by the Supreme Lord. According to the Gita, the living entities, although part and parcels of the Supreme control, are to be considered as Prakriti. This is clearly answered in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Apariyamita.
Apareyam itasto anyam prakritim viddhi me param jiva bhutam. Okay.
This material nature is my inferior Prakriti, but beyond this is another Prakriti, the living entities.
Okay. So in this paragraph, the third aspect is mentioned about Prakriti. Prakriti means what? This material nature. This material world is called
Sir, Prakriti
Prakriti.
is a material nature and he is female. She is female.
Yes.
Ma'am, and the God is the husband that do his activities.
Yes. So who represents material nature? Which goddess represent material nature? Do you know?
Sir, Lord Krishna.
No, which goddess? Goddess. She is female. Na? Which goddess represent material nature? Material nature.
Sir, is it
Saraswati.
No, goddess Durga. Goddess Durga or goddess Parvati. She represents material nature. Maya Devi. Yes. Okay, now who will read?
Sir, I can.
Who?
Sir, can I?
Okay, Arav Chaudhary. Arav Chaudhary can read.
Can you mute everyone and give chance because they have raised hands, so you can unmute only one person. So can you?
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, Arav Chaudhary can.
Excuse me, sir.
Arav Chaudhary can read. Arav Chaudhary can read. Yes, Arav, you can read. Unmute yourself and read. You turn on your video. Okay, Arav is unable to read. So, Survi Kumari. Survi Kumari, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So for material from material nature.
Material nature, yes.
Material nature itself is constituted by three qualities: the mode of godness, the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance. Above these modes, there is eternal time, and by combination of these modes of nature and under the control of pure view of eternal time, there are activities which are called karma.
Okay. So this material nature is constituted of how many modes? Material nature is constituted of how many modes? 3 modes. Okay. It is constituted of 3 modes. What are the 3 modes? Mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. In Sanskrit, it is called Rajogun, Tamogun, and Satogun. Mode of goodness is called Satogun. Mode of passion is called Rajogun, and mode of ignorance is called Tamogun. तो मोड ऑफ गुडनेस एक्टिविटी इज मेंटेनेंस, किसी चीज का मेंटेनेंस करना, ये मोड ऑफ गुडनेस में आता है. टू क्रिएट एनीथिंग कम्स इन मोड ऑफ पैशन. If you are creating something, it comes in mode of passion, and to destroy anything, it comes in mode of ignorance. Okay, yes, you can read. Survi, you can read. And
yes, sir. These activities are being carried out from time immemorial, and we are suffering or enjoying the fruits of our activities. For instance, suppose I am a businessman and have worked very hard with intelligence and have amassed a great bank balance, then I am enjoyer. But then say I have lost all my money in my business, then I am sufferer. Similarly, in every field of life, we enjoy the results of our work or we suffer the results. This is called karma. Ishwar, the supreme Lord.
Okay, wait. So here it is explained that what is karma. Karma means whatever activities we do, so that is called karma. In this material world, whatever activities we do, that is called karma. So karma is good or bad. Whether it can be good karma or it can be bad karma. For example, if somebody is opening hospitals and he is helping others, so he is doing good karma. And if somebody is stealing or murdering, so he is doing bad karma. So good karma has good result and bad karma has bad result. So this is called laws of karma. If you do good, then you will get good results, you will be happy. And if you do bad activities, then you have to suffer the result of bad activities. Okay, so now Shraddha Duggal can read. Next paragraph, Shraddha Duggal can read. You can unmute yourself. Durpal. Yes.
Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, Jiva, the living entity, Prakriti, nature, Kala, internal time, and Karma, activity, all are explained in Bhagavad Gita. Out of these 5, the Lord, the living entities, material nature, and the time are eternal. The manifestation of Prakriti may be temporary, but it is not false.
So what is the meaning of eternal? Do you know? Do you know what is the meaning of eternal? What do you mean by eternal? So eternal means permanent, which always exists. Simple word meaning of eternal is permanent, which is always existing. Okay, so out of these 5, the 4 things are always existing. They are permanent, means the living entity, the Supreme Lord, material nature, and time. They are all existing all the time. And the karma, it is temporary. After some time, the karma is finished and new karma is generated. So karma is temporary and all other 4 topics are eternal. Permanent. Yes. Read ahead.
Some philosophers say that the manifestation of material nature is false. But according to some philosophy of Bhagavad Gita or according to the philosophy of Vaishnavas, this is not so. The magnification of the world is not accepted as false. It is expected as real, magnification, but temporary. It is
So
like
this material world is not false, but it is temporary. Okay, it is real, but it is temporary.
it is likened unto a cloud to which moves across the sky, or the coming of the rainy season, which nourishes grains as soon as the rainy season is over, and as soon as the clouds goes away, all the crops which were nourished by the rain dry up. Similarly, this material magnification takes place when a certain interval stays for a while and then disappears. Such are workings of Prakriti, but this cycle is working enter eternally. Therefore, Prakriti is eternal. It is not false. The Lord refers to this as my Prakriti. The material nature is the separated energy of the Supreme Lord, and similarly, the living entities are also the energy of the Supreme Lord, although they are not separated but eternally related. So, the Lord, the living entity, material nature, and time are interrelated, and all are eternal. However, the other item, karma, is not eternal. The effects of karma may be very old indeed. We are suffering or enjoying the results of our activities from time immemorial, but we can change the result of our karma of or our activity, and this change depends on the perfection of our knowledge. We are engaged in various activities. Undoubtedly, we do not know what sort of activities we should adopt to gain relief from the actions and reactions of these activities. But this is also explained in the Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, so here Srila Prabhupada is saying that we all these things are interrelated. The living entity, material nature, and time, and the Supreme Lord, they are all interrelated. Like the living entity and material nature, both are energies of the Supreme Lord. Both are Shakti of the Supreme Lord. But material nature is called separated energy, and the living entity is called related energy. So who is living entity? We are the living entities. हम लोग कौन है? हम लोग living entities हैं. We are all souls. We are related to the Supreme Lord. And the material nature, this material world is called the separated energy. Okay. And the karma which we do, that is temporary, and this result of karma can be changed. Suppose somebody is destined to suffer, but that destiny can be changed. This is the meaning. If you you perform Bhagavad Gita, the practice of bhakti, devotional service, then the destiny can also be changed. If you are supposed to suffer, then that suffering can be minimized. Suppose, for example, if somebody's hand is going to be cut according to his destiny, but if he practices bhakti, devotional service, and chants Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, if he chants in this way, then only some finger will be cut, little bit cut will be there. So in that way, the suffering is minimized by practicing bhakti to Lord Krishna. Okay, now Shivendra can read. Shivendra, you can unmute yourself and you can read.
The position of Ishwar, the Supreme Lord, is that of supreme consequences. The jivas or the living entities being parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, are also conscious. Both the living entity and material nature are explained as Prakriti, the energy of Supreme Lord. But one of the two, the Jiva, is conscious, the other Prakriti is not conscious. That is
What is the meaning of conscious? Conscious and not conscious. What does this mean?
conscious.
Alert and not alert.
Aware and not aware. This can also be said. Alert or aware. Like suppose if I pinch on your hand, so you will feel that somebody is pinching on your hand.
So we are alert.
But if I pinch the table will not feel the pain. It is because it is not conscious. Okay. If you are conscious, then you will feel the pain. Okay. Yes. So yes. Read ahead.
The other Prakriti is not conscious. That is the difference. Therefore, the Jiva Prakriti is called superior because the Jiva has consciousness which is similar to the Lord's. The Lord's is supreme consciousness. However, and one should not claim that the Jiva, the living entity, is also supremely conscious. The living being cannot be supremely conscious at any stage of his perfection, and the theory that he can be so is a misleading theory. Conscious he may be, but he is not perfectly or supremely conscious.
Yes. Okay. So conscious and supremely conscious, two words are there. So the difference between conscious and supreme conscious is that, like, we are conscious of our own body. Whatever is happening in our body, we are conscious. But we cannot be conscious of others' body. What is happening in your body? Where are you feeling pain? If you are you feeling sleepy? Are you feeling happy? I am not able to understand because I am not supremely conscious. But the Supreme Lord Krishna, he is supremely conscious because he is aware of everyone's body. He is aware of everybody. What is happening in your mind? What you are thinking? Where is the problem in your body? Lord Krishna is conscious of everything. That's why he is called supremely conscious, fully conscious. Whatever is happening in the material world, he is conscious of each and everything. He knows everything. Okay, so now Satish can read. Satish, you can unmute yourself and you can read. Satish, if Satish is there. Okay, if Satish is not there, then Rajat Khanduri. Rajat Khanduri can read. Yes.
The distinction between the Jiva and the Ishvara will be explained in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The Lord is Kshetra Jana, the conscious, as is the living being. But the living being is conscious of his particular body, whereas the Lord is conscious of all bodies. Because he lives in the heart of every living being, he is conscious of the psychic movements of the particular Jivas. We should not forget this. It is also explained that the Paramatma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is living in everyone's heart as Ishvara, the controller, and that he is giving directions for the living entity to act as he desires. The living entity forgets what to do. First of all he makes a determination to act in a certain way, and then he is entangled in the actions and reactions of his own karma. After giving up one type of body, he enters another type of body. As we take off the clothes, as you put on the clothes, and as the soul does migrates, he suffers
Okay,
the
so wait. So here very important concept is told, the transmigration of soul. Transmigration of soul means change of body from one body to another body. How soul transfers from one body to another body. So here one example is given, that just like we change our clothes, when you are wearing a shirt and then you wear a t-shirt, you change your clothes every day. Similarly, when one body is dead, the soul transmigrates to another body. The same soul, it transmigrates to another body. So in this way, transmigration of soul takes place. Yes, you can read it. Okay, read ahead. Rajat, you can read ahead. These activities. Rajat, can you hear me? You can read. You have to unmute yourself and read. First, you have to
Yes,
unmute
sir.
yourself.
These activities can be changed when the living being is in the mode of goodness, insanity, and understands what sort of he should adopt. If he does so, then all the actions and reactions of his past activities of his own karma. After giving up one type of body, he enters another type of body. As we take off and put on clothes. As the soul thus migrates, he suffers the actions and reactions of his past activities. These activities can be changed when the living being is in the mode of goodness, insanity, and understands what sort of activities he should adopt. If he does so, then all the actions and reactions of his past activities can be changed. Consequently, karma is not eternal. Therefore, we stated that of the 5 items, Ishvara, Jeev, Prakriti, time, and karma, 4 are eternal, whereas karma is not eternal.
Okay. So here, very important point is that if we are in the mode of goodness, then the result of our activities can be changed, which we discussed before. So coming to mode of goodness means what activities we should do that we are in mode of good. Now I'll tell you some practical tips to come in the mode of goodness. Means सत्व गुण में कैसे रहे. So very important points are that for to remain in the mode of goodness or to come to the mode of goodness, first we should regulate our lifestyle. Our lifestyle should be regulated, which means that you don't do anything which is without restriction. For example, suppose you are using mobile phone, you are seeing something. So it should not be that whole day you are seeing the mobile phone only. Or if you are sleeping, so it should not happen that whole day you are sleeping. So you have to regulate our lifestyle. Means you have to sleep early and then we should get up early. By 5 o'clock, we must get up early in the morning. Then you take bath. Then for some time, you read Bhagavad Gita and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for some time. And then in the daytime, you do your activities. Whatever is, suppose you are a student, so you study. If you are working somewhere, then you go to your workplace and do the job. Then evening time, you again do read Bhagavad Gita. Sit down and read Bhagavad Gita for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever time you have. And your sleeping time should be regulated and your eating time should be regulated. So in this, the most important thing is your sleeping time and waking up time. Sleeping early and getting up early. You must have heard this poem, early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. So if you sleep early, means sleeping early means before 10 o'clock. If you sleep before 10 o'clock and get up by 5 o'clock, then you can come to mode of goodness gradually. So this is the most important thing to come to mode of goodness. Then we can understand that what should we do and what we should not do. Okay, so this last paragraph, who will read? So Vyom Agarwal can read.
Yeah, okay, sir. The
Yes.
Supreme Conscious Ishwar is similar to the living entity in this way. Both the consciousness of the Lord and that of the living entity are transcendental. It is not that consciousness is generated by the association of matter. That is a mistaken idea. The theory that consciousness...
Here Prabhupada is saying that sometimes people claim that life has come from matter. Means we are we have originated from chemicals. So that is a mistaken idea. We have not originated from chemicals because chemicals are not conscious. They are dead matter. We have originated from Krishna or God. No, we have not originated from chemicals. Yes. Read ahead the theory that consciousness develops. Unmute yourself and read. Yes, Vyom Agrawal, you have to unmute yourself and read it.
Yeah. The theory that consciousness develops under certain circumstances of material combination is not accepted in the Bhagavad Gita. Consciousness may be perpetually reflected by the covering of material circumstances, just as life reflected through colored glass may appear to be certain color, but the consciousness of the Lord is not materially affected. Lord Krishna says, Madhyakeshna Prakriti.
Maya
When he
Dhyakshena Prakriti.
Prakriti. When he descends into the material universe, his consciousness is not materially affected. If he was so affected, he would be unfit to speak on transcendental matters as he does in the Bhagavad Gita. One cannot say anything about the transcendental world without being free from materially contaminated consciousness. So, the Lord is not materially contaminated. Our consciousness at the present moment, however, is materially contaminated. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that as we have to purify the materially contaminated consciousness in pure consciousness, our materially our actions will be dominated to the will of Ishwar and that will make us happy. If not that, we have to cease all activities. Rather, our activities are to be purified and purified activities are called bhakti. Activities in bhakti appear to be like ordinary activities, but they are not contaminated. An ignorant person may see that a devotee of the Lord are not contaminated by impure consciousness or matter. They are transcendental to the three modes of nature. We should know, however, that at this point of consciousness is contaminated. When we are materially contaminated, we are called conditioned. False consciousness is exhibited under the impression that I am a product of material nature. This is called false ego. One who is absorbed in the
Okay. So this paragraph. So here in this paragraph, the main thing was told that that what is bhakti? There is purified activities and there is contaminated activities. So Bhagavad Gita does not teach us to give up our activity. Like sometimes we have this misconception that bhakti means to give up everything. But it is not the fact. The correct understanding is that bhakti means to engage in right activities or purified activities and to disengage from wrong activities. For example, some people they like to eat meat and other things, but we have to give up meat eating and we have to eat nice prasadam, tasty prasadam. We offer to Krishna and then we eat that prasadam. Or sometimes some may like to hear Bollywood songs and musics, all these things. So better than hearing Bollywood song is to hear the kirtan, nice kirtans, bhajans. So in this way you change your activity, right? Sometimes some people may like to read novels and fiction stories. So instead of reading novels and fiction stories, it's better to read Bhagavad Gita and these Vedic wisdom books, which can give you some Vedic wisdom. So in this way, we have to change our activities. So this is called purified activities. And these purified activities is called bhakti. When you do all your activities for Krishna, then that is called bhakti. Okay, so we will end here. So if you have any questions now, so you can type in the chat box. If you have any questions, you can type in the chat box. Okay, I'll unmute you. You can raise hand. I'll unmute all of you. You can unmute yourself. I think you will be able to unmute yourself. Yes. Okay, so if you have any question, you can raise hand. I will unmute you, then you can ask the question. So right now I'm seeing Satish has raised his hand. So Satish, if you have any question, you can ask the question. Okay, Satish don't have question. Then Pihu Rastogi. So I'm Pihu Rastogi. Okay, Pihu also don't have question. Okay, Pihu has question. Okay, Pihu, you can ask if you have any question. You have to unmute yourself and you can ask the question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have a question that what is bhakti?
Bhakti means that any activity which you do for pleasing God, for happiness of God is called bhakti. Suppose God wants you to get up early in the morning. So if you get up early in the morning and chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, then that is called bhakti. So bhakti is very simple. When suppose you are eating, every day you eat something. So whatever you are cooking, if you cook and offer to the Lord first, you offer to the Lord means offer to the picture of the Lord, and you pray, oh Lord, please accept this food. So that is called bhakti. Any activity which is done for bhakti, for Supreme Lord is called bhakti.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other question? Anyone else wants to ask the question? So Aradhya has raised his hand. Aradhya, you can ask a question.
Sir, if there is God, so why we cannot see?
Yes, if there is God, so we need to qualify to see the God. We have to become qualified to see the God. Just like there is air in the atmosphere, but you cannot see the air. But if you use microscope, then you can see the atomic particles in the air. Similarly, the Supreme Lord Krishna, he is supremely pure. So if you want to see God, you have to also become pure. In order to see God, you have to develop love for God. When you develop love for God, you will be able to see God. Okay, any other question? Ritika can ask. Ritika, you can ask a question. Ritika has question? No question? Then Dheeraj Pathak. Pathak, is there any question? Yes.
Sir, is the God is real? Some people tell the God is not real.
God is real. Actually, God is real. That's why we are also real. Because we are God, we have come from God. So we are real. It means God is also real. And if you practice bhakti, if you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So you can see God face to face. If your heart becomes pure, you can see God face to face.
Sir, how become heart is pure?
Our heart becomes pure by reading Bhagavad Gita, by chanting Hare Krishna. by eating Krishna prasadam. When you eat prasadam, then your heart becomes pure.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so last question for today. Shiven, you can ask your question.
Sir, my voice is audible.
Yes, you can ask the question.
Yes, sir. सर, अगर भगवान ने सबको हमेशा इक्वल ट्रीट किया है, तो सर भगवान ने हम किसी को रिच बनाया है, किसी को पुअर बनाया है, ऐसा क्यों सर? और किसी को हेल्थ इश्यूज थी?
हाँ, ऐसा इसलिए क्योंकि ये पिछले जन्म के कर्म के हिसाब से होता है। किसी ने मान लो इस जन्म में कोई बहुत वेल्दी है, पर उसने दूसरे लोगों के धन को गलत तरीके से ले लिया या चोरी किया या किसी तरीके से, तो अगले जन्म में फिर उसको वेल्दी परिवार में जन्म नहीं मिलेगा, किसी गरीब परिवार में जन्म मिलेगा। सो ये जो भी बनाया भगवान ने नहीं बनाया, ये हमारे खुद के अपने कर्म है। अपने कर्मों के कारण किसी को अच्छा जन्म मिलता है, किसी को खराब जन्म मिलता है। Okay, so all right, we'll end here. It's 8:10, so we'll end here, and you can continue to join the further sessions which will be held. And it's all of you are very, very fortunate and nice boys and girls who are reading Bhagavad Gita, and you will definitely get mercy of Lord Krishna. So thank you all of you very much. Okay. Hare Krishna. So we'll end the meeting now. Hare Krishna. Bubbly Pathak is very excited. So yes, what you are
Sir,
asking?
actually, I'm not added in the community. Sir, I'm not added in the community in the group.
You are not added in the group?
No, sir, I'm added in the group, but not added in the community.
Which community?
Sir, there is one also Gitanushilanam community.
Okay, so you can type your name in the chat box and you can write, please add me in the Gitanushilanam community. So if it will be required, you will be added there.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. All right, so we will end here. Hare Krishna.